Hello YouTube. Warm day out here, picking up some bales, and we're getting some clouds in the sky here. There is a chance of rain tonight. We could definitely use it. I am using the 8100 to pick up the hay with. You know, anybody that's curious about the bale trailers, this is a trailer I bought I think around 2008, 2009, and it was made by a company called Schaefer Welding, which is out of Corning, Iowa. And yes, they do have a YouTube channel, but that trailer was just had to be sitting out in their front yard. It was one they built and they sold to a customer, and he parked it back in their yard for them to sell at a later date. This particular bale spear we just built last summer. It's working out good. Can't really see it from here. It's a big pin, and it goes through a hole in the plate, so you can pick it up real easy. Now that bale trailer, I put 1420 military tires on because that's what I had laying around, and it needed some new tires. But that trailer's got a handful of, we'll just call it, issues, and I'm going to do some modifications to that. Now, if you dig through my archive of videos back to kind of where I almost started making videos, there was a big trailer. It looked kind of like a John Deere trailer. I painted it up like a John Deere. I built that trailer, and it actually didn't work out so well, so I actually shortened it, and I still didn't like it, so I ended up selling it to a guy in Texas on eBay. He actually bought it as a conversation piece, but then around 2008 the economy collapsed and everything went down the drain, so if you build something like that you probably couldn't even sell it now. But anyway, this is a good trailer. It just needs some modifications. I don't want to let all the cat out of the bag on that because I'm hoping to get the views here on YouTube, but I'm going to do this one right. I got new steel coming for it, and I'm going to build some things on there, add to it. It's going to get some modifications, so to speak. So stay tuned for that video. And as far as that big one I had, that was the mistake. I should not have used iron that I had laying around. I had a 4x8 center beam, and I should have never used that. I should have out and bought like a 6x12. You use what you got. Sometimes it haunts you later, so I end up having to reinforce that beam significantly. So that's whatever happened to that big trailer. I am using the 8100 to pick up the hay with. It's a nice, comfortable tractor. Enjoy using this tractor. But what I was going to talk about today in today's video, this is if you go back a couple days, I talked about insurance companies and a little bit of a struggle I'd had with Volvo Financial and my insurance company on my Volvo Excavator. And I was reading through some comments, and by the way, thank you to everyone that commented, and so many of you weighed in and have similar thoughts, and it's very refreshing to me to hear these things. But one thing that commented, or one comment I got that really kind of stuck out, there was a guy that had a Peterbilt truck, and he went through a similar situation as myself. And his deal was, you know, why? He was trying to figure out, why is it this way? If you want to do your own repairs, why is it basically like having to go in there and start shooting people to get freaking money to do your own repairs? Now, this is completely my theory, and this is not based on any fact, but my theory is it's based off of repossessions and deadbeats. I think if you took a car, for example, and say you had a car that had a loan, and then you go out, or you had a loan, you had insurance. You go out, you total the car, you wreck it, so it's not worth anything, and most people are going to take that insurance check and they're going to waste it on another car, they're going to waste it gambling, smoke, whatever they're going to do with it. And that money's gone, now that car is undrivable. Well, then most people at that point say, well, I can't drive it or I can't use it, I'll quit paying for it. And then the bank has to go in and repo it, the bank repos it, now they have a totaled car, and the bank ends up going, well, they do it, all repos, or at least that I know of, usually end up going to auction. So the bank hauls this thing to auction, and it won't bring little to nothing because it's been totaled and the guy's already squandered the money to fix it. And so what they do, say you had a $5,000 a banknote, the car ends up selling for $1,000 and it's in its totaled state or wrecked state. $4,000 to make up there, so they slap a judgment on the guy for $4,000. Probably again would have a very hard time or very difficult time getting that money back. The bank would never recoup that very easily. So basically what they did is they got together, the insurance companies, they said, well, we got a loan on it, let's just handle it between each other. And that way it kind of forces the guy to fix up the car and get it back. So if we do have to repo this thing, at least it's still a running, driving good car, and it goes in auction, we may get $3,000 out of the car, and he owes $5,000, so he only got $2,000. So the judgment that may or may not get paid is much, much less. So in other words, this is my theory, it minimizes the risk for banks or for loaning companies. Now, that's a form of corporate welfare in my opinion. And you know, if somebody's going to let something get repoed and get a judgment, they're going to get a judgment against them probably anyway. I don't know what the statistics are, but a judgment's a judgment. They're going to have to pay it. They're in trouble. Handling it this way, and for the good, honest people like myself or this other gentleman that just want to have their piece of equipment fixed back up, and they had to pay some labor and stuff out of their pockets to get it done, it's just a nightmare, an absolute freaking nightmare. And my equipment wasn't going to get repoed, it's paid up. Now, what's funny about this whole story is when I went to Volvo, I just kind of gave up. I said, just forget it. Don't pay me for my repairs. I'm sick of arguing with you guys, because they kept saying, well, it's company policy, you need to pay forward. I said, pay forward? You know, insurance check does not need to pay forward on the remaining balance of a loan. Well, they love to throw the term company policy around, and this is what's funny about the story. The guy couldn't tell me because he said I was general public and was not able to view their company policy. That's what started the World War III between myself and Volvo. Well, I'm not general public, I'm a customer there, and my money's there. So I don't know how I could not view. So some guy walks in, all of a sudden everything that he has is law. It's based off a company policy. I don't think there is any company policy. I think as he walked over to his boss and he said, well, this guy's asking questions, and they just looked for a good way to pacify me and get rid of me. Now, I quit arguing. Don't even freaking pay me for the dent. I don't give a shit. Put the money towards the loan. I'm done with it. And all I was asking was, you know, what's show me your company policy. You know, if this is the way you want to act, then you show me your company policy. And they won't do it. They, you know, wanted to start World War III with me over just asking for company policy, and that's what kind of provokes some of my videos. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back, watch the videos from a couple days earlier from now. You know, it's stupid how these companies act. Their company policy, that's a way of like hiding behind everything's a factual law. And, you know, for that fact, I guess I could say to Volvo, well, you owe me so many dollars late charge for my work on my invoice. When they ask me, you know, why or how are we going to pay this or whatever, I could start suing them and say, well, it's my company policy to charge 187% interest on any late invoices. And since you guys took the insurance check and didn't pay me for my work, my company policy is I'm going to have to hose you guys for returns. So, I've never get away with it. It seems to be a one-way street for these corporations, but I do think that's where things got in bed with each other between the insurance companies and the banks. So I just wanted to kind of add that to this this video today, since picking up bales is kind of boring. But I'll leave it from there. But I don't like it. It's just more of modern America, and I don't like what direction it's headed. And everything's geared towards corporations, government, and big business. It's just nothing out there at all that's for the small independent guy anymore. And it's disgusting. During the Clinton administration back in the 90s, it was merger mania, and then after that it was the economic collapse of 07. Then you had Obama in there, and it's just been around downhill quick at that point. Merger mania took place. These corporations got where they started controlling stuff, and old Bill Clinton, he let that go right on. He didn't stop it, but you know what? He sure came out having a lot of money towards his Clinton administration there, her foundation, whatever the hell that thing is, where he's probably taking all sorts of payoffs. But how Hillary can, you know, spend $750 million or whatever it was on a campaign is just mind-boggling. Well, I'll be out here picking up bales the rest of the afternoon, and as always, please comment, rate, subscribe, and thank you for everybody that did comment on the last ones, and I appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. And I'm going to have several more topics to weigh in on, plus many more equipment videos and a whole bunch of stuff. So you're going to continue to get probably daily videos, or maybe even a couple a day from me. As I got a lot of stuff here that's going on, and a lot of cool things. Or hopefully some people find it kind of cool what we're doing. So stay tuned for more. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good day.